this week. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh plans to take stock of all ongoing infrastructure projects in the country. Find out what this means for your infrastructure stocks. Jagannathan Thunaguntala picks Syndicate Bank and IDFC as smart investment options. We'll tell you why. And later on, find out if you should be holding on to MRF in your portfolio. Hi then, a very warm welcome. You're tuned into All About Stocks right here on ET Now. I'm Arvan Dabas. This show, remember, is specially designed for retail investors to help you with your equity investments. Remember, we're talking long-term here, so all of the calls that you will hear on the show are for a time horizon of the next 3 to 4 years at least. Also, you can get in touch with us via our email ID that's flashing at the bottom of your screen, and you can also reach us on our Facebook page. Before we move on, let's give you a snapshot as to how the markets panned out for the entire week and some of the key events that took place. We've got Ajay Sharma who's standing by to give us a snapshot of the same. Ajay.
Well, it was a big week of gains for the Indian stock markets, close to 4.5–5% being added on the benchmark indices for the week gone by. Also, we saw that the nature of the rally was mainly by large cap stocks. So names like Reliance Infrastructure, IDFC, JP Associates, some auto companies like Hero MotoCorp, metal ones like Sterlite, all of them were actually gaining 10 to 20% each. We also saw the defensive names like Pharma, DRL, Ranbaxy, all of them lagging the market. There was also some kind of a semblance that there could be a rate cut in the offering when the RBI meets at the policy on June 18th. We also saw a banking index outperforming the market, 8% gains added for the week gone by. The auto and the BSE Realty Index adding close to 6%. BSE Oil and Gas Index, close to 5% gains coming in there, mainly on the back of Reliance Industries, which actually shut shop at 7:30 for the week on Friday. Mainly Mukesh Ambani's guidance at the 38th AGM, adding weight to the stock. Gas production is seen rising to 60 MMSCMD in the next 3 to 4 years. 1 lakh crore of capex announced for the next 5 years. And Reliance Retail, that actually business which has turned around in the last 1 year, is expected to become profitable in the next 1 year. All of these comments from the chairman of the company give a lot of boost to the stock price, which was trading with a positive bias.
Ajay, this week we also had the Prime Minister who gave us that insight into the infrastructure meet. Give us a sense of what exactly happened, because it pretty much turned out to be a damp squib.
Well, in a very interesting development, the Prime Minister this week called for a meeting of various stakeholders, ministries, as well as industry participants in the infrastructure sector, accepting the fact that there were several bottlenecks in the sector and the country is actually undergoing very turbulent times because of the lack of infrastructure creation. So issues of how to reverse the present situation were actually discussed. We did see people and participants from power, coal, railways, civil aviation, even road sector attending the meeting. It was quite interesting because in anticipation of some announcements, the stocks were gaining ahead of the meeting. But post the meeting, though, the Prime Minister announced that close to 2 lakh crore of investments are required in the Indian infrastructure sector over the next couple of years. Some announcement coming in, but people and market participants turned quite skeptic on how the government will actually manage to raise those kind of funds, and also execution remained a key question mark. And we did see stocks like road companies, the port stocks, a lot of infrastructure players overall petered down after the meeting came in and people started turning skeptic.
Thanks very much for giving us that perspective, Ajay. So quite a volatile week is what it was. Let's bring on board our fundamental expert who is joining in on the show. Jagannathan Thunaguntala, Head of Research at S&P Global, now joins in from New Delhi. Jagannathan, it's been such a volatile week. We've gone from levels of 4,700 all the way to 5,000 plus. What's your sense? Are we likely to see the upside capped at levels of 5,050 to 5,100, or are we going to move forward with a lot of steam?
I think 5180 will be a big resistance this time. I think June series should be between 4780 to 5180. I don't think the rally will continue beyond 5180. I think the last time when the market was falling, 5180 has given extremely good support. But this time probably that will become a strong resistance. In the sense 4780, 5180 will be the range for June series.
Okay, so that's quite the range that you're predicting. But what about a Reliance Industries, Jagannathan? What did you make from the takeaways from the 38th annual and general meeting? Because it turned out that they didn't really give any new announcements as were expected, and it was on a very somber note.
Absolutely. I think Reliance Industries as a stock has lost that shine, I think, which used to enjoy decades back. I think logically the company is not meeting to the expectations of the analysts. I think the 75,000 crore cash, still there is no clarity about how to go about it. The retail, there was so much promise in terms of the investment, but I don't think industry has that kind of potential because it was a gone story and it was a story which got sold 5 years back, and now I can't think of even a single profit-making retail company, and everybody is either going through CDR, loss-making, etc., etc. All in all, Reliance Industries AGM proved to be a damn scoop. I think the range for the stock again 650 to 750 in that range. I don't think the stock is going to be in 4 digits anytime in future.
Okay, 650 to 750 is the range that Jagannathan predicts for Reliance Industries. Here's how it shuts up on Friday at a level of 729 at the high point of the day. Let's now move on to Jagannathan's first stock pick for the week. It's IDFC. Let's take a look.
Infrastructure Development Finance Company, or IDFC, was established in 1997 with an aim to be a one-stop shop to help finance and implement infrastructure growth in the country. IDFC has been reporting strong earnings growth, and its fourth quarter profits grew 17%, beating analyst expectations. Net interest income for the quarter jumped 24% to 586 crore rupees, boosted by a 10% loan growth from the last quarter. The infrastructure loan book alone grew over 28% for the quarter, and the company expects infra loans to grow about 20% in the next few years. Asset quality has remained stable, with net non-performing loans making up only 0.15% of the total loan book.
So Jagannathan, your first pick comes in the form of an IDFC. Given the tough macroeconomic environment, IDFC has performed fairly well. There have been healthy return ratios, well capitalized, strong domain knowledge, and healthy asset quality as well. So what are the key points that you think one should watch out for, and what is the upside target on IDFC?
It is one of those companies with who wants to maintain leadership in almost in all the verticals they are in, be it project financing, investment banking, and in all the verticals. Management is very aggressive. It's a fine mixture of financing, balance sheet strength, as well as advisory services. I believe there is a long way for the company to go. I think around 100, 110, whenever that stock reaches that level, it will be extremely good long-term fundamental entry levels. I think keep accumulating around that level, 100, 110, 120 levels. I think because the format of the program is meant for long term, I think if somebody is looking for 2 to 3 year kind of time frame, the stock should be at least 300 rupees.
Right, and Jagannathan, you did have a good set of numbers also which came out from an IDFC, but from the entire basket, why did you select this one? Because there have been quite a few positive brokerage calls coming in.
Yeah, one is the management is aggressive, and secondly, they have all the business verticals, be it the balance sheet center and the fees-based income. I think it's a nice mixture and nice balance. I think there is a reason to believe that probably IDFC going forward maybe some acquisitions also can be expected from IDFC. So inorganic growth, organic growth put together, I think in 2 to 3 years the stock may be in the range of 300.
And Jagannathan, if we were to focus on that crucial infrastructure made by the Prime Minister that took place last week, you did have handsome gains coming in for the entire infrastructure basket, but there's always that lingering question which remains with respect to implementation, because while there might be a lot of promises, the implementation doesn't really go through. But in light of that, which are the infrastructure stocks that one should keep on their radar?
I personally believe the infrastructure bounce that is happening has nothing to do with the Prime Minister meeting or speech. It is only because of the fact that the market is any which way in a bounce back mode, and then infrastructure being high beta segment, it is just taking some of the bounce. I don't think Prime Minister promises market will be taking so seriously until and unless they will be getting implemented. In last 3-4 years, many promises were given but not met. So in that backdrop, I don't think that meeting really has triggered such a big rally. It's just a matter of technical bounce, and being high beta infrastructure is participating in that.
So Jagannathan, the infrastructure stocks, one thing you'd have to maintain is that the fundamentals have remained the same. So in light of that, which kind of stocks would you advise from this sector?
In fact, from the infrastructure space, if one is looking at rest of them all is L&T, one can look at. If you want to take a bit of risk, and maybe GMR, GVK, you can always look for technical bounces.
GMR, GVK and L&T should be kept on your radar from the infrastructure basket, according to Jagannathan. Let's take a quick break right here on All About Stocks. After the break, we'll bring you Jagannathan's second pick for the week, Syndicate Bank.